you started off watch dealing.
Yeah.
Now you've built a successful business where you're essentially selling all over the world.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious to know like how did that start, and also like what can I know about maybe your past or your childhood that helped me know the person that you are today?
You know what? It started randomly. Like, I always had a passion for watches.
Yeah.
When I was young, I remember watching The Godfather and just seeing, a 36 mil Prezi on his wrist, just seeing that Day-Date. And I always just saw, and I was just fascinated. I didn't care about the movie as much when I was young. I was just
Mm,
fascinated by the watch. And I was like, one day I want to own this,
mm,
so that was like a big thing for me. Um, yeah. So, just a hobby, a passion that turned into a job, right?
mm,
My biggest thing was, working in film and working those 16, 18-hour days. I was just miserable and depressed all the time. And I was like, man, I want my time back. I want to work on my own schedule. And that was it, So when I started really scaling and selling more watches, and I saw the business opportunity, that's when I just went with it. I just put everything in on myself.
mm.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know like what made you go all in, because like what was life like before you really started the business and scaling, and why did you go all in?
I think the time, basically. That's legit what I just wanted everything back to myself. When you're working such long hours and being told what to do, where to be all the time, it's difficult on you, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't really have time for yourself working in that industry. The only thing that helped me there was the people. And it was actually really nice working with all these different people. I was a driver, right? I was a
Mm.
cast driver.
Oh, cool.
So I was driving on actors and actresses and picking them up and doing deliveries. Yeah, so after that, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Some days was 18, 20 hours. Fridays were called Fratterdays, where you get off work, it's 5 a.m. Saturday morning, you sleep all day.
Hmm.
And it's like, you have no time. The bank, for example, the bank was open till 3 p.m. that day. So if I had to do banking, unless I can leave during the week, I had no time to do any of my errands. You have one day Sunday, you got to clean your van, you have to get ready for Monday because you start usually really early, right? And that was it. Life was just not sustainable to live like that. So I was always a salesman. I love dealing with people and selling and making people's kind of, wants come true, stuff that they couldn't get. And I tapped into a market where it's impossible to attain. And I was like, you know what? I know how to get all this, and I can solve a problem.
Mm.
And a problem is building people's collection where they can't get these watches, right? So when you have a passion for that and you figure out to solve a problem, 1 + 1 is 2, and just it works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I work with exactly what I envisioned when I was a kid. Yeah.
Dude, that's surreal, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
surreal. How did you like what was your plan? Like how did you make that jump? Like did you like save up money? Did you still work a little bit while you were selling? Like what was that leap like, and how did you do
I
it?
I was always selling watches even since, 2010.
Oh, cool.
I was just kind of, but it was just more me building my collection. So I had a couple watches back in the day. Back then, Breitling was cool, Frank Mueller was cool, Hublot, right? So I had those, and every time I wanted to wear something different, I'd have to sell the watch 'cause I didn't have the money to obviously just keep buying. And
Uh,
Rolex back then wasn't a thing. Nobody really wanted Rolex, right? So I always wanted a Roly. That was kind of I was like, I want a Rolex. I wanted that since I was a kid, since I watched movies, stars wearing these watches.
yeah.
And for me to wear different items, I had to sell an item. So I'd sell them on Craigslist. And I would always lose money. It was kind of like the fee for wearing the watch, right? $500, $1,000, but you save up. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm going to buy this watch, and always just kind of move the collection around, personal collection.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was it.
Cool. What do you think, like, even in that process of like when in the beginning when you were losing money, say, what like were some lessons that like you learned in that process about the market, about sales, like what?
Honestly, I knew nothing about the market. I didn't
Okay.
even know that there was a gray market. Back when I was younger, it was
Yeah.
just like I would sell these watches on Craigslist, and it was just fun. I just had a fun time. That's like selling my own collection, getting something new just excited me, even though I'd lose a little bit. It's like when you get into a brand new car, right? You just get that excitement feeling. Oh my God, it's the new thing and I'm going to get it. You
Yeah.
don't really care.
Yeah.
And I just wanted different stuff to wear. you know? So
Yeah.
wasn't learning. I was just
Yeah.
always like, okay, it's a part of the game. I wore this 3 months. I lost 500. I'm like 160 a month.
Yeah.
Do the math. I'm like, okay, you know, I just lost $170 a month or whatever to wear this watch. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right. And that was it. I didn't even learn.
Damn.
Yeah.
So how'd you quit and just quit your job and go all in on this? Like, what did that even look like?
As the years went on, so when 2017, I started working in film, right?
Yeah.
I started 2017.
Yeah.
And the first year was amazing. I actually loved it, you know, being told where to go, having my schedule, and I was driving. And it was because your time on set is your time. You're more chilling.
Yeah.
But, you know, the biggest thing for me was health. I couldn't go to the gym anymore. There was no time. You're sitting in a van all day, and also food is free, right? So you're eating, you're constantly going. It's like having a 7-Eleven on deck, and you can have anything you want, right? So I was already selling these items every time it got more and more. 2018 is kind of when I started really dabbling into the bigger stuff.
Yeah.
And 2019, I was already kind of sick of film. And then COVID, when it happened, production got shut down. Netflix wasn't running anymore. Safety precautions, they couldn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, I was on EI. And I'm like, man, like I got a mortgage. Like, how am I supposed to live? This is crazy. So selling a watch here and there, making $500, $750 was kind of like paying the bills, right?
Yeah.
And I got busier and busier. When I went back to work, my phone just kept ringing. You know, people were like, oh, hey, I need a, you know, Rolex Datejust 41 and this. And so on my off time at work, I'd be sitting in my van and I'd just be on Snapchat, Instagram, and I'd be sending out inventory that all my friends had and I had access to. And I'd be posting Instagram stories and saying, you know, year, condition, whatever, all the information and a price. And people would be like, I'll take this watch. So Saturday I would go and I would make a sale. Sunday, make a sale, make, you know, $1,000, $2,000. Go back to work Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
And then after everything, I was so busy that on the last show, I was just like, hey, I just told my boss, I was like, hey, listen, like, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to go all in. I'm just going to bet on myself and I'm going to go sell watches. And then they were supportive of me, actually. I thought they'd be very upset. They're like, if it doesn't work out for you,
you got a place with us.
But I don't think anybody truly thought that it would scale to what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people are like, oh, he'll be back.
Yeah.
Right? You're not just going to quit because we're making decent money in film, right? I mean, trading all your time for the paycheck. When you really add it up, it's not the best, but you are getting you are getting decent coin to live, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think really anybody thought it would kind of grow to where it went. And every time it just got bigger and bigger, just went better and better.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Dude, this is where I'm interested in kind of like your skill set.
Yeah.
And so like, why do you think people were calling you back? Like, why were you getting all these phone calls and let's say another jeweler or watch dealer wasn't?
I think I'm just a people person.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I've always, my whole life, even in sales, I always, when I dealt with people, they always tend to like me. So I made friends easy.
Yeah.
I'm a, what's the word? An extrovert?
Yeah.
Right.
Me too.
So yeah. So I'm super talkative. I like communicating with everybody. And I think my customer service, I always would make people feel like they were somebody and not just like, oh, hey, you know, and get the hell out of my face type vibe, right? Where you see a lot of this stuff happening in sales, people just get sort of just shoved to the side and they're trying to spend money with you and they feel so small, right? Like they're not important to you. Whereas every single person that came to me, whether you bought 15 grand or you bought 150 grand, I would still give you my time because you're making you're making a deal with me, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why I just kept getting busier and busier. Yeah.
Something I've always like kind of, even honestly, like something that I've like had to work on in sales is like, how do you like, because it can be such a transactional thing, sales, right? Like it's lots of money involved. You essentially are closing deals, getting someone to pay you for a service or a product. And so how do you keep that? Like maybe it's easier for you, but what would you say to someone that's trying to keep that process genuine and not make the person feel like they're just another number? Or like what's your process in making that
To be honest, I don't even know. I genuinely care.
Yeah.
To me, it's really Like, you know what I tell people when they come is like, you know, a lot of dealers, they pester customers. I've heard that from so many people,
Really?
and it turns them away. When you talk to, like, it's not that I don't want to chase you for the sale, but
Yeah.
whether you buy it or not, I truly don't really care about it to that extent where I'm not chasing the dollar.
Mm.
I want you to be happy. And if you choose me to do the deal with, amazing. I'm always going to be there. Right. And I feel like a lot of other people, they pester and they're like, they make it feel like, oh, hey, are you buying this? Are you buying this? And they just keep going about the whole buying. And I just say, if you need me, I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, like, thank you for your time. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you want to do something, we'll do it. And if you don't, well, all the best. And I hope everything, you know, you're looking for happens.
Yeah.
And that's really it, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like dating. It's like if you're pestering a girl and like
Yeah.
you're showing you want her so bad, it's like probably not going to work out. But if you're chilled, relaxed, and like you're there, you know, like you.
I'm not desperate.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I find they are desperate,
Mm.
right? And that's kind of what turns people away.
Yeah.
Desperation. When you look desperate, people are like, is he lining his pockets? What's really the situation here? Me, I'm like, I'm here to help you. If you need something, I'm here. If you don't, it was such a pleasure meeting you.
Mm.
And we move on, right? You're not going to close every single person that comes to you, right? If you can close 50%, amazing. I close more than 50%.
That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's people sort of know what they're looking for, and if they don't, I'm here to assist you. You're never wasting my time.
Yeah.
Right? My job is to get what you want, right?
Yeah.
And help you figure out what you want. You think people come in here and they know a 36 mil date just what it's going to fit like compared to a 42 mil Sky Dweller? Well,
Yeah.
no, they never even try. How can you try it on? Majority ADs won't even take you into the shop anymore, right?
Mm.
They're like, you have an appointment? No, scram.
Damn.
Right? You have inventory to try on? No, even though some exhibition models to try, but majority of people can't even get in.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, it's you're kind of you're helping people learn.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Man, it's honestly, it sounds like the sales, it's not even really sales to you because it comes from a place of like passion.
Yeah.
So you're an expert on watches.
Yes.
You understand all this shit. And
For
so
sure.
you can be an educated advisor
Yeah.
almost, right?
Yeah.
How much, because I think there's two sides of business. Like
Mhm.
some people will say like it's very like logical and just do the thing, right?
Mhm.
Just do the reps. Like you can be a good business person without the passion.
Yeah.
Right? How much of being good at business and sales do you think has to do with passion?
I mean, you can't succeed if you're not good at business and sales.
Yeah.
But if you're good at business and sales, and if you have a passion for what you're doing, you hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
You know, because to somebody can be good at business and sales, but they could hate their job and they could just not want to be there. So how can you really have a true mindset to it if you don't want to be there and you don't have a passion for what you're doing? I know people that make so much money and they just hate going to work.
You can smell it, right?
Yeah,
If
you
you're
can
a client.
smell, you
yeah.
can see it. You know, they just
Yeah.
look depressed. Me, I come in here and I'm having the best time of my life.
Yeah.
New watches are landing. We're checking out these new watches. We're trying stuff on. It's a whole different game.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like if you have passion, you can kind of give it your all because you're passionate for what you're doing.
Mhm.
Right? So you don't really feel like you're working, instead of you hating your job and just having business skills and you're like, how can you really put your all into something you hate?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why I think my passion was watches and jewelry, and I was always fascinated by them. So it never felt like I was really working. I always felt like when I get a client book in, I'm like, oh, nice. I get to show this guy something and I get to help him with his journey and building his collection. It feels nice. It's not just money, right?
Yeah.
Whereas people that don't have a passion, it's just money. There's like, oh, okay, I get my paycheck and that's it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
How did you break into like not only like different markets, like you said, some in Asia, in the United States, you live here, right? And maybe Toronto a bit too. How did you break into those markets? But also like, how do you get the contacts to be able to buy these watches and then sell them? Like, how does that whole process work? And how are you able to do that?
A lot of it was through like WhatsApp groups.
Really?
Yeah. So when you build your name and you get invited into these WhatsApp groups by invite only, right? You grow through there, right? You meet a lot of
Cool.
people and a lot of, even things like Facebook and a lot of just people just meeting people and just getting introduced to new contacts. I also would go to Europe. I would go to the UK And what a couple of my buddies, they live there, and I bought watches in London, for example. Had a buddy in Istanbul, right? So I met people there, and yeah, just a lot through person to person, just meeting people, communicating with them, and getting into their network of people. That was a big thing. I think just network sharing, right? You meet people from all over the world. When I was in Istanbul, I would go to this coffee shop every day called Whoop, and I met people from the US there, ballers from California, but they have houses in Istanbul, and we visiting, and then we exchange contacts. They still, to this day, this was last year, September, I was there. I still talk to some of them. You know, I met the owner of Whoop Cafe, and he wanted a couple APs, you know, rose gold blue chrono AP and things like this. And I just met people just traveling around. Like I said, I'm an extrovert, so
Yeah.
I just make friends easy, and we would just network, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, London, same thing. Met people just through watches, wearing a nice watch. Yeah, and that just sparked conversation.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cafes, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Istanbul.
Yeah, in Istanbul, yeah.
Cool. What's an underrated watch? What's the most underrated watch you've ever,
Oh my God.
in your opinion?
You know what watch doesn't get a lot of recognition for what it is anymore is the Vacheron Constantin 4500V or 4520V, the overseas blue model. It was trading for 65K back during COVID, and now it's kind of, you know, floating around like mid 30 to 40K. And that watch, it's so much watch for the money, but I feel like people are just so brand influenced, right? Where the Rolex kind of is non-profit organization, but they're the king of sale. Like they're at the top of the right.
Yeah.
They're the peak,
Yeah.
you know? So people are kind of just in the Rolexes and the APs and the Pateks. Vacheron makes some nice watches, but they don't really get the recognition anymore, even though they're part of the Holy Trinity. But yeah, I feel like that's a kind of a slept on piece.
Cool.
But me personally, I'm still going with a Rolly over it.
Yeah.
But it deserves more recognition than it gets.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
What makes a good watch? Like, what makes it underrated? Like,
man, I don't know. It's just
brand or like what?
The craftsmanship behind it, the movement, all this stuff, you know, it really, you can just see quality in a watch. Like when he was trying them on, he's kind of over Rolexes, you know, they're very basic when it comes to what you're getting for the price. It's very basic, but Rolex knows how to market.
Yeah.
Man, they're geniuses with what they've done. That's what people are like, oh, mass production. You think that a company like Rolex is going to follow what a company like Breitling and Hublot did? Bro, those brands ruined their names, right? Mass producing. When you walk into a store and you literally get told, yeah, you can buy this right now. Nobody wants it. Why would you want something everybody can buy? But when you tell people there's a wait list, or you have to buy these items to acquire this, you got to buy jewelry, build your account up. It's like you go into Porsche. You're not getting a GT3 RS. You walk in there the first time. Why would they sell that car to you when they have people that have given brand loyalty for years to acquire that car? Same thing with Rolex. You're not walking in and getting a Bruce Wayne GMT on Jubilee, a watch that sells for 15K but double price on the gray market. Why would they sell it to you? You think there isn't other people that want that watch that are opening their wallets and buying stuff that Rolex can't sell?
Yeah.
That's how you build your name with Rolex. That's how you get offered hot pieces. People don't get that. That's why there's a gray market price and a market price, right? I mean, like MSRP. They sell it for this. It's not worth, or like, well, that's retail.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, you go wait 5 years, 7 years and get it for retail. They'll probably never still call you because they have other people that want the watch that are spending money. Why would they sell it to you? It makes perfect sense in my mind, and a lot of other people's too, but some people don't get it.
Yeah.
Right?
So really, like the value is based off of like how many there are, the demand that there is.
Yeah. They're not pumping these pieces out left, right, and center.
Yeah.
And if you're one of the lucky guys to get it, it's because you've given them business, right? You're one of the guys that are buying these watches that no one's buying off the shelf. You know, they see your account spend. Oh, he spent this much. You know what? We're going to bless him with a sub date. Sells for 15K on the market, like on the MSRP, but resells for 20K. They kind of give back.
Yeah. Cool.
Especially if you buy their jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of the game too, is like not only like building connections with people, but also like with the actual big dealers
Oh yeah, for
of these
sure.
brands as
Yeah.
well.
And that's what people get annoyed. That's why the gray market is so busy.
What's that?
The gray market is what we're gray market dealers. So we
Cool.
stock Rolex, AP, we stock all brands.
Yeah.
Right. But people don't like the AD games.
Yeah.
They don't want to go to the store and be told, oh, you got to spend $30K in jewelry, go buy these 3 bracelets, or go buy two tutors to get this watch, or go buy a Chopard and we can give you this. That's how people they have to bundle stuff. That's what people go gray, because then they start adding it up. They're like, I'm going to lose 70% here, 60% here. This watch is worth this. I'm minus 7,400 and I have to wait a little bit. How much is it gray market? It's $1,000 more, $1,000 less, maybe 5K more, and I get it today. What's 5K? I really want this. I've worked hard. I want it now. You know, who knows in 6 months what you're going to want? Maybe you won't even want that watch anymore. Right?
Got you.
So people come gray.
Oh, okay. So that's why it makes sense to go gray, because someone like yourself has been buying from them, built that trust.
Well, not us directly. Like, I'm blacklisted from Rolex. I can't get anything because they know I sell Rolexes, right?
Yeah.
So I walk into the Rolex store, they run my name, and they're like, okay, yeah, you have to leave, right?
Yeah.
It's a part of the game.
That's crazy.
Right? Yeah, because back in the day, I was getting them for retail and I was flipping them.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, so I got some, hot pieces, and I was doubling up my money, and they found out, and I already knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
To me, it was all business, right?
Matter of time.
I love watches, but I mean, for me, I wanted to keep growing and acquiring more pieces, right?
Mm.
And that's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have a question about kind of like success and lifestyle. Obviously, when you first started out on this journey, you loved it, but you also were trying to get to that level of success. You probably had a vision for what it would be like. So you've reached a level of success that I'm sure you wanted at one point. Mm-hmm. Does it differ from what you thought it was going to be?
Not really, no. I mean, you always want more.
Yeah.
You reach a certain point and it's never enough. It's always there's always bigger and better things, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it'll ever stop.
Mm.
You hit millions, and then you want multi millions, and then you hit those, and you want, now you always want to expand, right? You always want to be bigger, better, unless you're just kind of like, you want to settle and you're like, oh, you know what, I'm good now. I can never settle. I always want more, and I always want to grow. Yeah.
And it probably goes back to the passion too, because like you've enjoyed the whole journey of it.
Oh, definitely.
So you've been essentially happy doing the thing.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
The financial success or whatever success you see is maybe doesn't have an impact because you're already enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I get to do my passion, pay my bills, live good.
Yeah.
And, help people acquire items that they want, achieve their dreams. And meanwhile, I get to see stuff that I wanted to see since I was a kid, right? Deal with all different brands, meet new people, you know, and yeah, that's it. That's why, that's where the passion comes right in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about the term work-life balance?
Work-life balance? Like,
what comes to your mind when you think of that? Do you think it's even relevant?
I mean, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you could definitely get caught up putting too much time into the work aspect of it. Yeah, it's hard for me to really do that, because no matter where I am, I'm working, because my job, I mean, physically I need to be here, but I also have a business partner and we help each other a lot. When I'm gone, let's just say I'm in Kelowna or I'm in Toronto or I go for a trip overseas, my partner's here helping me, right? He has access to inventory I have, and all I'm doing, I'm on my phone, on my WhatsApp, on my laptop. Hey, bro, I sold this item. Here's a shipping label. I need you to pack this up. And FedEx comes, picks up all our shipments, or we drop them off at FedEx, ship it out. So we help each other. And him, same thing. He's in Mexico with the family, Hawaii. He goes to overseas, right? Same thing. So we're always sort of working, right? But I mean, work to be on a beach in Mexico and to answer a simple WhatsApp message. Hey, do you have this? What's the info? Send me pictures. Yeah, sure. You do it. Can you take blah, blah, this much USD? Okay, invoice me, send me the thing. You invoice off your phone, send it over, boom. He pays, watch it. It's like, it's very simple.
To me, that's the life right there.
Yeah, it's amazing. Having a pina colada and loving it.
Yeah. That's awesome. So have you took some time off like that?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. I mean, I was just in Kelowna. I go to Kelowna quite a bit. I went to Vegas a month and a bit ago.
cool.
Yeah, I take time off. Always
Yeah,
kind of just doing my thing on the phone and
yeah, of
still working, but
course.
I take time to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess on the contrary, like I guess you wouldn't even have that opportunity without like if you're working some if you're still in the film industry or
That was the hardest thing with the film
yeah,
industry. Super hard to, you're on call, right?
yeah.
So even if you get time off, it's very, very difficult. You have to request it, and you're trying to plan a trip around a production company it's near impossible.
Hmm.
Very difficult. Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
you. What would you say like let's say that whether it's their you have a person like let's say in their 20s 20 to 25
Hmm.
and they're maybe in a situation like you were where they
Hmm.
hate their current situation. What can they learn from your journey of just taking that jump, doing it, and now obviously having the success that you envisioned? What would you tell them, and what can they learn from your journey?
I'd say obviously like one of the biggest things is like I said before, is passion, follow something that you believe in and you want to do. And you have to work hard. People think like, how many people I get messaging me and being like, how do I sell watches? Because I see that you live a good life and I want to do that. It's like, man, like this wasn't built overnight. You know, we were grinding, right? To build your name in this industry. Imagine, imagine you're going against guys that have multi-millions inventory and you're just a little guy starting out and you have 2 watches in stock. And then you're going against a guy who has 100 in stock. I mean, like you have to really offer somebody something and really bring something to the table for them to be like, you know what, I'm going to take this guy. Trust is huge. You know, trying to tell a guy, oh, hey, spend 100K with me over the guy that has an office, inventory, and has been around for years that people can actually vouch for, and you're just a new guy starting out. That's the hardest thing. So a lot of it, is your name. You need to really have a strong name in your community. You can always start by selling stuff to your friends, to family friends, and sort of build off of that, right?
Mm,
And just being fair and always honest.
yeah,
Honesty goes a long way. Being truthful and working hard. And yeah, and that's it, right? Like I said, always be kind to customers
mm,
and don't treat them like they mean nothing.
yeah,
Customer service is huge. People will want to come back if you have
yeah,
good customer service and you offer a good service,
totally.
right? People don't go back to people that treat them like shit,
No,
right?
no. And sometimes the bigger companies in any
Yeah,
industry
for sure.
are
It's
definitely like that.
happened. I've had people come here and say, "Oh man, like you don't even know what I just dealt with. I just came from a Rolex AD. I'm not going to name names, but a Rolex AD, and they just treated me like I was just dirt. And I feel so. They're like, this is why people buy gray market.
Mm,
I never want to be treated like that again. And I'm like, man, I'm sorry you dealt with that. That's the game, though, right?
yeah,
They
yeah,
they have people coming in, but you have to understand from their point of view too. A lot of people come in there wasting their time. Um, demanding that they sell them something, and like 100,000 people aren't demanding the same thing. What do you mean my Submariner isn't here yet? It's been 3 months. It's like, bro, people have been waiting 3 years. You're pestering them, so of course they're a little bit on edge, right? So I kind of understand where they're coming from too. People are always just nagging them, right? It's like you can only take so much, right?
mm,
But I hear it all the time.
yeah.
Yeah, people tell me that. Yeah.
I hear like from here. I hear like find your edge,
Hmm.
like find an edge, and because I think like in indie industry, like
Yeah.
even like doing a podcast, there's so many massive podcasts that are
Yeah.
like dominate. They have way better production,
Mhm.
way better mics, everything. They have teams working for them,
Yeah.
and so like for me, I'm thinking about like where, yeah, I'm a small fry, but where can I find that edge? Whether
Mhm.
it's I'm passionate or I'm naturally good at something, like where can I find that edge?
Yeah.
What would you recommend to somebody to find what they're passionate about, to find what their edge is? How do you do that?
That's difficult. To me, it came naturally, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a very tough question, to be honest. I don't even really know.
yeah,
It's, I think most people, it just comes to them naturally and they just kind of, what the biggest things is when you don't plan and something just comes to you naturally and it's just like, wow, like it just worked. It's like people that deal with cars, right? They like wrapping cars, for example, and they enjoy doing this, and it just comes naturally to them and they feel happy doing it, and then they just expand from there. I think that truly it just comes naturally. You follow something you actually truly enjoy, and you just build off of that.
Well, I think there's a level of like you have to trust that too.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people that maybe like haven't gotten to the success that they feel like they could is maybe like that thing is there internally.
Yeah.
Like they ignore it. It's like it's kind of a scary thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have you ever heard of the term like people are scared of their own success?
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like how did you, I mean, I guess it was really natural for you, but like what, I don't know, like this is, maybe you don't have an answer for it, but what would you say to the person that like maybe isn't trusting that intuition and like has having a hard time taking action on the thing that they think they like or could be good at?
I think the easiest thing for somebody like that is don't give up what you're doing, but build off of what you want to do. Right. So for me, I was already selling watches, but I was like, I still kept working in film.
Because you had to, right?
I had to, right?
Yeah.
I had bills to pay. Like I said, I had a mortgage. I had payments to make, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I still need something, but I'm going to make extra. But I knew that I didn't want to do that for life.
Yeah.
Right. And I just built off of that. And then after a bit, I was like, you know what? Like me as a person, I have bigger dreams than this. I want more. And I had hunger for it, right? You got to be hungry too.
Yeah.
You know, if you're hungry and you want it, and you put the time, the effort, and everything into it, you're going to succeed. You're going to do good, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I love that advice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
What is the biggest challenge that you faced in these last 5 years building this?
It's tough. Couldn't even name that. I don't know.
Really?
I honestly don't know, because nothing has felt like a challenge. I feel like everything has came naturally to me. Everything from growth to, like, right now it's a little tricky, like with these tariffs and all this baloney going on with Trump and stuff. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's causing major issues. Other than that, I don't really find like we've had challenges. I feel like client base keeps growing, inventory keeps growing. Those are the two biggest things. People can't get watches, we can. People can't get customers, we can. People are dumping stuff on Facebook, like, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google search. I've never done anything on Google, okay? People pay for these like ads. I swear to God, because I get my stats every month.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that call me off of just Google and stuff, and they're like, you're one of the top companies that pops up.
Cool.
And my reviews, everything is top of the line reviews because my customer service, and I never have a problem with that. I don't put money into this stuff. Everything just comes naturally.
Yeah. I think it literally, I think it just goes back to that foundation of 1, you being passionate about it.
Yeah.
2, there was some good timing, and 3, like your ability to connect with people.
Yeah. Well, the timing was crazy though, for sure.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like those 3 things are the main thing that stick out. And I think that's why you probably just hasn't felt like you've had a lot of challenges, because everything is just kind of flowing because of those foundational of passion, timing, and
the puzzle pieces all put together properly, right? Just like you said, everything just fell into place every time.
Yeah.
It was, it just came easily, naturally. And that was it. Yeah. The timing, especially during COVID, like we solved the problem of something people couldn't acquire, right?
Mm.
Inventory was scarce and we had it. We had connections to inventory and we grew off of that. Right. And on top of that, I mean, every single week percentages were going crazy. Like a potato could sell a watch during COVID. Watches were en route and people were like, I'll take it, mazal. And we're like, no. Because during the time of the watch coming, it would go up 5 to 10%. Yeah, so it wouldn't even be here. We already knew we were making profit, and then we'd wait, it would land, and then 5% more on top of the profit. So it was just the right. A watch is never an investment, but it was the right time for an investment at that time. The chart was like this. It was just on a straight, boom, lateral, right? That was it. And then near the top, everything corrected in the market, bam, slammed to the bottom. And that's where people were losing money like crazy. People that got into the industry took mortgage loans, right?
Wow.
Loans against their houses because they wanted to sell watches because they saw the potential of where watches were going. They lost it all. I know people that got 100K loan against their house and lost the 100K because when the market slammed and you had just paid 50K for a Pepsi Jubilee and now the price is, well, like, you know, when it happened, the price went under 25. Well, you just lost 25K on one watch. Meanwhile, at 50K, you were selling for 55, you're making 10%. And then all of a sudden you lost 50%, right? So people just got underwater and they lost it all.
Do you think those people that lost it all like that maybe just weren't in it for the long run?
They were just in it. They saw quick, easy money and they really had no skin in the game. And they just kind of just were like, oh my God, easy money. And I want to capitalize on easy money. Meanwhile, there's a lot of market research you got to do. It's not just like you think a stock trader when you're looking like, oh, I wish this guy just made like these people are professionals. Like I can't go onto a stocks and be like, okay, well, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to put 100,000 into it. I'm going to turn it to $350,000 and I'm done for the day. No, like it's not how it works. These people they're learning. This is their market, right? They're doing their thing. They're making money. Same thing with crypto traders. You know, it's the same thing with watches. You got to study the market. You got to see what's hot, what's not hot. You know, see what stuff is selling for, see what's sitting. There's so much going on in the market, right? Yeah, we do a lot of research on it. We're not just like buying a watch and say, okay, good, we're making $2,000. It's like, no, I've also lost money on watches.
Yeah, of course.
I've had a watch and I lost 40 grand.
Yeah.
You know, it's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Right. Cry about it for 10 minutes and then move on and make it back. Like that's what you got to do.
That's a good lesson though, because you could see it as great timing or a bit of luck, right? But you wouldn't have been able to capitalize on that opportunity if you hadn't been selling watches and been in the market for the long haul before that.
Absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that like what when I talk to people or I see other people that have had success, I think a lot of it is lots of the things you talked about, but I think a big majority of it is like just being able to stick with it for the long haul.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. I think one of the biggest things is putting your all into that thing you believe in, right? So some people, they put too much stuff on their plate and it's like, you know, you got 100% and then you take 5%, you toss this and then 20% and then 15%. And then your ratios are just all broken up here. And you're not putting all your energy into growing this. You're trying to grow numerous things. And like they say, you know, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Yeah, that's a thing too. But I mean, when you're trying to grow 10 different businesses and they're all different businesses, right?
Yeah.
Like different markets and everything, like how can you truly grow something to its max potential if your mind is scattered?
Yeah.
Right? My mind, I wake up and I already know what I'm doing. It's like, okay, I start researching, I do, and then I know what I'm buying, like, am I going to make money? Am I going to lose money? Like it takes a lot of, I put my all into this, right? Have a plan B, sure, but stop putting so much on your damn plate where you're all over the place. You're running around like a chicken with his head cut off, like going in circles.
Yeah.
Right? You can't put your full into that then. Yeah.
I think even too, like if you have a plan B, I'm sure maybe the film was your plan B, but I'm sure you weren't really thinking about
I
it.
wasn't
like
going back.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because you think even the plan B can sometimes be a bit like, it's like you may not put your all into it because you're kind of half in, you're dipping your toes in a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't, to be honest, I didn't have a plan B. I was just like, I'm going all
the
in.
Boats, man.
I'm going into it and this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I was like, and you know, it was like, I applied with different buddies that own jewelry stores.
Yeah.
And they didn't have a spot for me. They were like, no, I can't. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. They didn't want to take me on.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's okay. No worries. I'm going to do this myself. And I hired a guy, incorporated the business, did everything, got my paperwork together. And I was like, here we go. Let's do this. And then I started off just small amount and I just kept growing.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, besides just watch dealing, like what were some things like business wise that you were like, oh shit, like I got to learn this, or like maybe something you weren't great at? Like what were some lessons that you learned in business?
Everything.
Yeah.
Bookkeeping. Like I was doing all this myself. I didn't have an accountant. I was doing everything. I was like learning how to do numbers. I never went to school for business.
Yeah.
I didn't know like what came with owning a business.
Yeah.
After a bit, obviously I hired an accountant and I'm like, holy shit. Like when taxes came, I'm like, what do I do here? I don't know
Yeah.
what the hell is going on. And bookkeeping, I hired this guy. I'm like, yo, this is your job. I'm going to focus on growth and sales, and you handle the numbers,
You have to
man.
trust other people.
Oh, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, he has access to all my stuff. He was
Yeah.
doing everything for me. Yeah.
Damn.
Great guy. But yeah, that's I knew nothing about it. Nothing. Same thing with, like I said, marketing and stuff. Like, I just did it all myself. I didn't hire marketers. I was like, I just started posting videos on Instagram, holding watches and different things, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you have to have like to be an entrepreneur that's just starting your first business? Do you think you have to be naive a little bit to like
For sure.
to go into it because
Yeah.
you don't understand what it's actually?
Yeah, you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
You're just hopping into something. You're like, I like doing this, and it's like there's a lot more than liking to do something, right?
Totally.
Yeah, so for sure. Yeah.
Cool, dude. Dude, you shared some awesome things, and
Thank you.
I've enjoyed this a lot.
Me too. It was nice to catch up again.
Dude, I love it, man.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know. My last question is:
Yeah.
was there anything that I didn't ask you that I should have?
I think we covered everything.
Cool,
I'm
dude.
sure we're gonna do more of these too.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I think we kind of nailed everything. We talked about, sort of AD games, growth, what people can do to kind of succeed. My story, the plan for the next 10 years. I think we kind of just nailed it, bro. Yeah, I think we nailed it, bro. Yeah.
Dude, I appreciate your time a lot. I enjoyed it.
Likewise, brother. Likewise.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Definitely.